I've seen people play legendary max battle weekends all wrong, and that ends today. Because today I'm talking about the best way to take on Dynamax Entei max battle weekend and start playing it correctly. Okay, so this event, if you don't know, is going to be Saturday, April 26th, 6 a.m. to Sunday, April 27th, 9 p.m. So all weekend. You'll have the following bonuses during the weekend of your max particle collection limit increased to 1600, which means you can collect that many during the day, but your storage is not increased. You'll get ×8 max particles from power spots, so 800 per power spot. Power spots will also refresh more frequently, most likely every 30 minutes, spawning a Dynamax Entei, and quarter adventuring distance to receive max particles, so 0.5 kilometers to claim your 300 max particles for walking. Also, the week-long event bonuses from April 21st, 6 a.m. to April 27th, 9 p.m. already active in-game are going to be 3/4 reduced max particles when unlocking or powering up max moves. So, unlocking a max move will now cost 300 max particles, powering up to level 2 will cost 450, and powering up to level 3 will cost 600 max particles. This is a great time to unlock and power up max moves because it's cheaper than it normally is. There'll also be a free week-long timed research you might have already completed from Monday, April 21st, 6 a.m. to Sunday, April 27th, 9 p.m. This timed research will be focused on tasks around catching max Pokemon, leveling up max moves, unlocking max move, and powering up your Pokemon, which will get you a Dynamax Sobble encounter, Sobble candies, and max particles. There'll also be an exclusive event store web shop bundle called the Dynamax Entei Max Battle Weekend Ultra Box for $9.99 USD in the in-game shop. This box will contain 1 max mushroom and 7 max particle packs. So if you want to get some max particles, you want to get some particles, buy that box. It's pretty expensive though, I will say. Nonetheless, is this event actually even worth playing before we get to the right way to play it? And in short, yes and no. Let me explain. Looking at all Dynamax, Gigantamax attackers, Entei is the number 6 fire type Dynamax currently in Pokemon Go. In comparison, it's outclassed by Pokemon like Dynamax Moltres, Dynamax Darmanitan, Gigantamax Charizard, and on top of that, it's a legendary, so it's very expensive to power up your max moves, unlock your max moves, power up the Pokemon as is. However, Dynamax Entei, or just Entei, has a stamina stat of 251, making it the bulkiest fire type max attacker in game, meaning that Dynamax Entei is a great Dynamax fire type tank Pokemon. This means when going up against Pokemon like fire types, bug, grass, ice, steel, fairy types, which Entei all resist, it's going to be a great Pokemon to put into the battle while you charge up your max meter. Overall, Entei is a good Dynamax tank Pokemon, so it's not bad to go after, but just because it's not as good as you think, there's other reasons why you want to play this event, which we'll get to. Nonetheless, Entei, not a bad Pokemon as is. It's also just a good fire type attacker normally in Pokemon Go, so you can use it for that. To get the most out of this event, you want to take down Entei as quick as possible. So how do we do that? Well, when building your team, here is the best strategy. I don't see a lot of trainers using it. The number 1 strategy is when team building, you're going to want to have 2 tank Pokemon in the front and an attacker in the back. The attacker's role is what you're going to switch into when you Dynamax and use your max attacks. Then you're going to switch back into the tank while you're building that max meter and eating up charge moves from the Dynamax boss. As far as your best max attackers, you're going to want a Gigantamax Kingler with Bubble and Crabhammer, Dynamax Inteleon with Water Gun and Surf, or Dynamax Excadrill with Mudshot and Scorching Sands. You also want to make sure you max out or level up to at least level 2 their max attack move in the max menu. So you're going to have one of those Pokemon in the back, but in the front, you're going to want a tank or a healer Pokemon. I recommend having 2 tanks in case you lose one. It's good to have a backup one. Also, it's good on any of these tanks I'm about to talk about to unlock and upgrade your max spirit attacks, because this allows you to heal your and your teammates Pokemon by 8, 12, or 16% depending on what level your max spirit is. So the best Pokemon to go ahead and max out and unlock max spirit on as tanks are going to be Dynamax Blissey, which is a good just generalist tank, Dynamax Blastoise, which is another good tank, and Dynamax Moltres. All these Pokemon have resistances to Entei's moves, so they're going to take not a lot of damage, or they have an insanely bulky stamina stat like Blissey. Now, if you don't know, Dynamax bosses can have 2 attacks, and you want to know how it works so you can optimize how much damage you take and take them down quicker. There's going to be a large attack, which is going to be undodgeable and it's going to hit all trainers, and then you're going to have a targeted attack, which is dodgeable and will only target 1 trainer at a time. Now, the possibilities for all those moves are going to be Flamethrower, Iron Head, Flame Charge, Fire Blast, Overheat, or Scorching Sands. And in an ideal world, as your large attack, you're going to want either Iron Head, Flame Charge, or Flamethrower. However, if Entei has Fire Blast or Overheat as its large attack, I would highly recommend re-lobbying, because that move is going to do so much damage and you're just going to get destroyed. Remember, if everybody leaves the battle and you guys re-lobby, it's going to refresh the move that Entei has. Another Another way though you can take advantage of this is actually to dodge the targeted attack. Now, when you are in a battle, if you are targeted by the Dynamax boss's attack, there'll be a little spider sense of 3 lines that go above your head. You can then swipe right or left and go ahead and dodge that move to reduce the incoming damage. Remember, you cannot dodge the spread attack that hits everybody when it says preparing for a large attack in the bottom right, but you can dodge the targeted attack. Just look for those 3 little spidey sense lines. Also, if you do end up dying, make sure you cheer, because when you are cheering in a Dynamax battle, you can go ahead and fill that max meter for your other teammates to Dynamax quicker. Remember, you're only going to have 4 people in these battles. It's not Gigantamax. There's a limit of 4 people. So you're going to want to make sure you're helping as much as you can, even if all your Pokemon faint.
Okay, guys, heads up. The merch is here. Yes, we are finally dropping merch, but only from April 19th to May 3rd for a pre-order. After that, it's gone. We've got 2 clean colorways, the beige and the black version. Let me know which one you'll be getting. This is an awesome design we worked really hard on, and I'm hyped to drop. Just hit the link in the description to pre-order yours or go to POKEDAXI.com. Appreciate your support as always. Back to the video.
Now, the number one strategy I don't see people using is maximizing their max particles, especially as free-to-play players, so you can take on more Dynamax Enteis for completely free by doing this strategy. Let's go through it. Now, you can collect 800 max particles per day, but you can manage to collect 1,000 per day if you claim your max particles correctly. Okay, let's go through it. This strategy will allow you to get 6 Dynamax Entei battles for free. So the day before, you want to make sure you stock up on the max amount of max particles. So the Friday, which is 1,200 max particles. How you'll do this is on Thursday, go ahead and end the day with at least 200 max particles. If you have too many max particles, you can always power up max moves, all that stuff, or do max battles to use them till you drop to that amount. Then on Friday, you're going to want to collect 1,000 max particles. You'll do this by collecting 700 max particles from power spots, and then you can claim your 300 max particles from walking. This will lead you to around 1,200 max particles. Now, of course, you can go ahead and start using those max particles on the Saturday once the Dynamax Entei battle does start. But since the limit does get increased to 1,600 max particles collected on that day, there's a strategy we can follow to actually collect 2,200. Here it is as follows. Hit a power spot. That's going to be 800 max particles. Then collect 300 max particles from walking twice. So 600 max particles. Then hit another power spot for 800 more. That's a bunch of max particles you can use on the Dynamax Enteis that day. But then finally, the timed research we talked about, if you don't claim any of the max particles until the day you're battling Dynamax Entei, that timed research will get you another 1,400 max particles as rewards for powering up max moves, all of that stuff. But you can save them and use them on Dynamax Entei. If you follow these 3 steps, you'll get a grand total of 4,800 max particles, which is exactly 6 max battles. It's very important how you claim them. If you have questions about that, let me know in the comments. I'll try to clarify. Now, Entei is a legendary Pokemon. Getting candy for it is very tough. So here's a couple little strategies not a lot of people are doing to get more candy for these Pokemon. Number 1, of course, use pineapple berries. Everybody really does this, but regular pineapple berries will multiply catching by 2 and silvers by 2.34. Plus, they'll give you a little slight increase on catching the Pokemon. Remember as well, if you find a shiny Dynamax Entei during the weekend, use a pineapple berry on it because it's going to be a guaranteed catch. Running a Mega Pokemon as well. When you Mega Evolve a Pokemon, any Pokemon you catch that shares a type with the Mega, you'll get more Candy, XP, and XL Candy for catching Pokemon of that type. Entei is a Fire type Pokemon, so Mega Evolve either a Mega Charizard X or Y, Mega Houndoom, Mega Blaziken, or a Primal Groudon on the day. Have that Mega active, you're going to get more Entei candies. Also, when you do defeat Entei at the max battles, you can actually position a Pokemon at that power spot. Not only will that make it easier for other people who take on the Entei to take it down, because you'll be giving them an attack boost, but also you will be getting candy and XL candy. The max amount of candy you can get is 5, so it's not a lot, but it's still better than nothing. By the way, when the power spot disappears or you call back that Pokemon, that's when you'll get that candy reward. So if you do get an Entei, you can actually drop it into a power spot and use it as a way to grind even more Entei candies. Now, remember I talked about using pineapple berries. You might be like, well, that's actually really going to make it hard to catch Pokemon instead of using golden raspberries. I would highly recommend activating White Curm's Iceburn Adventure Effect. This is going to give a 1.5 times catch multiplier anytime you're catching Pokemon. This is going to be great because now you can use pineapple berries and still catch Dynamax Enteis for more candy. So activate Iceburn on the day. Highly recommend it. It's just going to make your day much smoother. Finally, there's another way to get even more max particles, and that's through a community ambassador meetup. If you go on Campfire, you can sort by meetups and find the community ambassador hosted meetups with the rewards tab. If you attend one of these meetups, you'll get a free timed research that will lead you to 800 free max particles. That's 1 free Dynamax Entei battle. Definitely worth attending those meetups. Also, that's where people will be, so you can go ahead and take on Dynamax Entei and have a group of trainers to take it on. Nonetheless, watch these 2 videos on screen. If you learned something from this one, you'll enjoy something from those as well. Hopefully you learned something from this video and follow for more tips. Peace.